Do you think there's going to be a third Naruto series? What's up everybody, ForNeverWorld here, and this is a part 2 to my last video where I was talking about how I feel Naruto Shippuden is ending the Shippuden era, and this is my thoughts on if there will be a part 3 to the Naruto series, and if so, what it will be like, my thoughts and predictions, I guess so to speak, of what a third Naruto series would be more like. Alright, so like I said in my previous video, I really believe the Shippuden era is ending. However, if it's not the ending of the Naruto universe, and there's going to be a third part, which is kind of likely because I wouldn't, if Kishimoto is how he wants to do his story at the end of the day, even though it kind of wraps up with ending it as Shippuden, as, Madara dying, etc., and, just wrapping it all up like that, and it kind of goes perfectly, it's Kishimoto's story at the end of the day, and if he wants to do a third part, a fourth part, etc., then it's up to him. That's how he wants to do his story. But if there's a part 3 to the story, I'm going to give a big leap and say, what a lot of people kind of, I guess, is feeling, that it's definitely going to be another time skip. My guess is not going to be too much of a time skip, because at the end of the day, Naruto is more of the characters are always young, so it's not going to be too much of a time skip. If Naruto's 15 or 16 right now, I'd imagine it's going to be no more than he'll be at the most probably in his early 20s, and that's pushing it, because I just don't feel like Kishimoto will want to make his characters really 30 years old and have then again, it could be a radical departure and do like a quote-unquote Dragon Ball Z where he goes from he's a kid to an adult or whatever. If Kishimoto want to do that, by all means, I would totally be on board with it. But I'd imagine he wants to keep them more or less in their late teens or early 20s, especially if he's gonna make Naruto Hokage, which kind of would be the reason for doing this particular part 3, because if he doesn't do the Naruto is Hokage as an epilogue at the end, a final chapter or 2 showing what happens in the future with them, then it's definitely going to be the focus for part 3. And I can imagine him being Hokage, but possibly, because Naruto, he's still kind of hot-headed at the end of the day. He still wants to do missions, and I don't see him just wanting to sit in a chair all day. I'd imagine he'd be like the first Hokage that really wants to be in the field. He'll get his job done at the desk or whatever. Maybe he'll have Shikamaru acting as doing the paperwork or something like that. But I'd imagine he'd want to be in the field, and we'd still get crazy missions with him. Maybe he'll be training Konohamaru and his group or something like that to be great shinobi or something like that. But I really don't imagine Naruto just sitting in a desk being Hokage. He'll be Hokage, but he's gonna want to do stuff. He's gonna want to go on missions. He's gonna want to do a lot of things and be Naruto, because just because he matures doesn't mean that he's not going to be the same person. Yes, he will mature and know that he has responsibilities, but he's still going to be Naruto at the end of the day. He's still going to want to do the things that he wants to do. Like if he wants to battle, he wants to be in the field, he's going to do it. I definitely see in the future as well, and I guess this goes along the predictions line. I definitely see Shikamaru playing a big part as far as raising the kids and being somewhere up there in the levels. I don't know exactly what rank or what position. I know he'll be far beyond tuning that he is now. He'll definitely be Jonin status or higher. Maybe he'll just be I guess training the next shinobis as well. With Sasuke, this really is up in the air because we don't know what's going to happen with him. If he dies at the end of Shippuden, then there won't be no Sasuke in here. But if he doesn't, if he somehow survives and he just goes into hiding and pops up later, will he be a good guy? I don't see that. I see if Sasuke makes it to the third part, which he probably will, because if there's a third part, Naruto's always been Naruto and Sasuke has always been like a roller coaster crash course, and they're always on the opposite. So if there's a part 3, Sasuke is going to be there one way or another, and I'd imagine he's probably still going to be evil. I wouldn't be surprised if he's basically the new age Orochimaru, and he's just gonna keep going and trying to survive to get whatever his quest is. Probably he'll lose sight of what he's really doing anymore and what's his goal, and his goal will probably be lost. Orochimaru really doesn't have any particular goal outside of being immortal and continuing onward with strong bodies and learning techniques. But even the third Hokage said he doesn't really have legitimate goals. He doesn't care who dies, who lives, he just really wants to just live onward and be like a perfect shinobi, a perfect being, so to speak. And, if there's a part 3, Sasuke will probably still be evil. I don't see him just going back to the village. The only way he'll be a part of the village is if he's secretly Anbu Black Ops or something like that, and he had a mask and nobody will know outside of maybe Naruto or the elders or something like that. I just don't see him walking around the village, hey Sasuke, I don't really see that. far as other key characters, you know, I'm not even gonna get into Saku Naruhina, whoever he's with. You know, that's awesome. If he's with Hinata, if he's with Sakura, you know, if you want to put it in the comments, it doesn't bother me one bit who you think he's gonna be with in a time skip if he chooses a female. You know, either way, it's fine with me. I'm not a big Naruhina, Narusaku, it's whatever. So, you know, if they're both alive, you know, that's assuming they're both alive and they make it out of the Shippuden era. You know, I definitely would see him with either one of them. And a third time skip with the whole Saku Naruhina stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if he finally picks one at the third part where there's, you know, a time skip and a lot of stuff happens between that time. And, you know, with a third Naruto series, it'd have to be a bit different because we can't have, you know, the same, once again, the Shippuden type feel and the Naruto type feel of him trying to build up. He's already almost at the point where he's like the Omega Ninja, so to speak. So he'd have to be more mature and more up there, but he'd still be Naruto, you know, regardless of what. I don't like it when people try to say that he's gonna, you know, he's got to be more mature. Yes, he's gonna be more mature, but he's still Naruto. He's still gonna have that silliness, that funniness to him. If he doesn't have that, then he's not Naruto. But let me know what you think of Naruto Part 3. Do you think there will be a Naruto Part 3? And if so, how do you think it's gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be, you know, like I said, a big time skip where they're in their late teens, early 20s? Do you think it's gonna be Naruto in his 30s or 40s? Let me know, you know, your ideas. I would love to read them and see what you guys think. But that's all I have for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Again, video response or comments are always welcome. Like the video if you want a Naruto Part 3, if you really love Naruto and you wanted to keep going. Because, like I said in my previous video, I wouldn't mind more Naruto for years to come. But that's all I have. I'm ForNeverWorld. Have an awesome day, people.